Hey guys, and welcome to Control Alt Success. This is part 7 of a 20 or so part video series. In my last video, I talked a little bit about understanding your customer, and this was in the form of creating a customer avatar or an empathy map, essentially. So in this video, I wanted to kind of emphasize a little bit more on understanding your customer, because when it comes to marketing, you cannot be generalized. Because if you're generalizing to a target audience, you're going to fail every time, because a target audience is a targeted audience. You have to specify, you have to be specific in the message that you're trying to portray. So what I wanted to talk about is that a squeeze page, an email, a tweet, anything that you're trying to do to market to your customer needs to comprise of several things. The first thing it needs to comprise of is what I call the pro. Now, the pro is essentially the message that not only when you use your product, but how is your customer's life going to be better after they use your product. Okay? Most people are visual. Other people can read and interpret better than others can. Other people can hear better than they can interpret than people that read. But at the end of the day, most people are visual. And that's why YouTube is probably the #1 site other than Google and Facebook on the web right now. But you need to help the customer visualize how their life is going to be more successful. So the next thing, the next component to your message needs to be what I call the win, or the victory, or whatever you want to call it. But the win, essentially the win is what is the information in your product going to do to defeat the negative problems your customers currently have. Okay, that's all that is. It's essentially the win is the message that you're trying to help them know that if they use this, it's going to help them achieve this. It's going to help them defeat that. If they're trying to lose weight, this product will help them lose weight. That's the win. That's kind of the satisfaction that they're going to get. And the last component is going to be the message. And it's got to be the meaningful message. It can't just be a quick little, and you're going to make $10,000 a month. The message is essentially going to be the pro and the win put together. Okay? In the next video, we're going to do a few examples, so stay tuned for that. But the pro and the win together is the message. Okay? And once you start getting more specific, everything's going to make a little bit more sense. Because once you do this, the things that you need to include is what... There's this guy by the name of Jim Jenkins, and he actually calls it a product catalyst. And a product catalyst is essentially it exercises new important ways of doing things that actually help your customer overcome their problems. Okay? Then you have details, because all these messages need to include these. You don't want to be general with your market. You need to know you've been in a situation that's similar to theirs. Now I want you to think back for a second. When you bought a product, when you read a sales page and bought a product, was it the promise of fame and fortune or untold riches, or was it that the person that you were reading the sales page of, you related to? It was something that they talked about or something that they brought up in a story that you realized that, hey, you know what? I can relate to that. He understands my problem. So you immediately built trust, and they immediately had authority with what they were trying to tell you. After that, this kind of falls into the empathy map, but abundant empathy. Now, abundant empathy is situational awareness. If you can demonstrate to your prospect, I need to learn how to spell, that you have been there and understand the circumstances that they are in, then you have an abundance with abundance empathy, your prospect will begin to understand that you can be a mentor, that you understand what they're going through, so you're starting to build trust and value. They're going to listen more to your message. And the last thing is really the aha moment. The aha moment is not the close. It's not telling them how great it is. The aha moment is simply a possible solution to their problem that the customer has not thought about before. Once you comprise all of these components into a message, being it a squeeze page, a marketing message, anything along those lines, you're going to find your conversions and the trust factor with your customers is going to skyrocket through the roof. So I hope this makes sense. As always, feel free to visit my site, ctrl-alt-success.com. That's controlaltsuccess.com. You can also visit me on Facebook in the links in the comments below. It's just Facebook/controlaltsuccess. And if you have any questions, reach out. I am here to help. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm actually going to go over a few examples that compose of this specific content that we just talked about today. Stay tuned.